All right, today was green, but a little bit of a struggle for me. But happy to have come out ahead here. This was my watch list for the day. I had NIO, Workhorse, Plug, and American Airlines. But I also kind of had a secondary list, which I usually try not to go into, but today I did, which kind of shows the type of day I had, which also included United Airlines, NKLA, which is another electric car manufacturer, and Uber. So my first trade was on American Airlines right here, and it's a terrible trade. So I wait the first 5 minutes. Well, I was 9 minutes in to market open when I took this trade, which for me feels like forever. So I think my first two trades, I took bad entries because for a lack of patience. I got tired of sitting on the sidelines and kind of forced it. What I did wrong here for my trading style is that I went long right here into a strong moving average. This is the 200 MA on the 1 minute chart, but it's also the 50 MA on the 5 minute. So it just really, that's not my style to take a trade long into a moving average like that, especially so close to VWAP and some other moving averages. And already bearish volume was significantly down off the open, which isn't too abnormal, but this is just a bad trade. This is a lack of patience and me getting bored and restless, really. My next trade, let's see here, was on Workhorse. Workhorse, again, this is again a product of me getting frustrated sitting on the sidelines. So on the 5 minute chart, this is clearly a really nice long AB, this is terrible letters here, but ABCD pattern. Wow, that's like as bad as ever. So on the 5 minute chart, very clearly a really like almost textbook ABCD pattern. I don't know what I was doing. I actually took it short here. So on the 1 minute chart, reasons you shouldn't take it short, besides the fact that the 5 minute pattern is clearly a long, is that I don't know why I took it short here, because yeah, we had a little bit dip, it came down, it went back to VWAP. So this is just a very standard pullback. No reason to think this is a short. Workhorse is, the daily pattern looked a little strong in that it threw a hammer yesterday to end the day. So not exactly sure what I was thinking here, but the reasons I shouldn't take it short besides the million are that when you look at relative volume, which I use in this case to mean, the candlestick right before. So we had a strong bearish candlestick immediately followed by even more bullish volume. Then we come down and we maintain nothing but bullish volume and slightly higher highs bouncing off the lows. Now they're very slight, but all these things are saying this is a long. So this is just a terrible trade. So my first two trades were bad. Dug myself a almost max daily loss hole here. Luckily, I was able to climb out of it. So don't do what I did on these first two trades. What did I trade next? My next one was it Plug? No, NIO. Here we go. So this was my best trade of the day. And so this is NIO here. Again, started strong. What you'll see is, it came back to VWAP and it's a very similar setup to the last one, except it's not at all in that the volume price analysis is much better on this one. So if you see here, we got lower trend highs on the 1 minute chart. And you can kind of, if you wanted, you could view this, like a downward trend line there. So that's good. Additionally, we see the bearish volume on the 1 minute chart looks pretty solid. So we got bearish volume here, followed by, okay, bullish volume, followed by even stronger bearish volume, followed by weaker bullish volume. So it kind of looks like the bears are starting to take control, followed by, again, weaker bullish, and then right back to slightly stronger bearish volume. So it looks like in the tug of war, the bears are starting to take control. And also I wanted to get in right about this $15 mark, so I could say, well, if we lose the $15 mark by more than a few cents, I'm out. So really like this entry. So I took it short, partialed out close to VWAP, partialed out here as it stutter stepped. It went back up a bit, tested kind of this level. You see where these wicks are and where these moving averages are. Tested that. When it came back down to a VWAP, I actually added back into my position. I did that twice today. This is the only successful one. So I added back in here, really nice. Got out right here, which was the, this is the 50 MA on the 1 minute chart there, and then my last partial out at break even. So this is my best trade of the day, and this brought me back to slightly positive. So it made up for my max loss. So you can see this is a nice 2-to-1 reward ratio, and you can see that because my first 2 trades were losing, but 1 winning trade brought me back from 2 losing trades, which is really the key to consistency in day trading. Next up was another loser here. Can't stop, won't stop. So I brought myself back to break even basically, and this is again another bad trade, but let me show you what I saw here. So on the 5 minute chart, pretty steady downward trend, a nice little consolidation here off a moving average, and then took it lower. And this is another, as you can probably see here, this is a nice, it depends on where you want to put the B, but basically just another nice ABCD pattern on the bearish side. Obviously I missed that move, but it's still a tweak. You see, we only had one little candlestick here on the 5 minute chart of bullish volume, and it was slightly less, and then it's followed by stronger bearish volume. So it looks like the bears are still interested, but at this point it's a little extended for my entry here, and I did get it on a pullback, but you'll see on the 1 minute chart here, this is pretty strong bullish volume, and it's not like me. For one, this was really where I wanted my entry. So I'm not quite there. So it's not a good entry on that front, but really this 200 MA or VWAP needs to be what I was waiting for. So it was just a bad entry. I should have been more patient, waited for a better pullback to a better line of resistance, but I didn't, and I paid for it. I was a loser there. And then we're going to go to Uber. I went over to my secondary list here because things weren't going that well for me over there. And this was my second best trade of the day. I only had 2 winners out of 5 trades today. So this is the other winner here. And I really like my entry, but I'd be lying if I said when I took it that I wasn't a little worried that maybe Uber was a little bit extended, but it didn't do anything parabolic. So long, nice, strong, bullish volume here, maintaining. I took it long right here, partialed out at right here at 33.50 area, and then partialed on up. And there was some really big asks, or excuse me, bids at $34. So 34, and some big asks, excuse me. At $34, big ass at $34, and I really thought we were going to get there, so I kept going, partialing at this consolidation level. I went ahead and decided to add because I knew we were getting extended. If you look on the 5 minute chart, you can really see we're getting pretty extended here, but I thought there was a chance we might be able to break to the 34, but unfortunately the bulls got it exhausted a little early, and you can see they're kind of running out of steam here. And then the bears start coming in pretty hot here, and then you see the opposite, right? So instead of seeing bullish volume, you see mostly bearish volume, followed by slightly weaker relative bullish volume, followed by even stronger bearish volume. So the pattern's clearly dead, and my last little partial here got out at break even. So this was a great trade for me, but this ad didn't work out. It went against me. And that was my day. So slightly green. I was green on the day, but it was a little bit of a battle here.